Hello everybody and welcome, I'm Comodin Cam, and today we're going to be talking about the future of Transformers EarthSpark. And it appears it doesn't have one.
Rude. Wait.
Yes, we've received reports that it's been cancelled after its second season. Very quietly, it's not been officially revealed yet. Instead of working on a season 3, they're actually working on the next Transformers series. Now this source is Protoman, who knows someone who's working on the next Transformers series. Now for context, I briefly met Protoman at TFCon Toronto in 2023, and he knows a lot of insight to the behind the scenes of Transformers, the making of the toys. He knows a lot of people who have developed them over the years, so he has a long history of being very credible. He's not the kind of person that would make something like this up. Now, he never actually said that they aren't making a season 3. He said that they're making a new Transformers series. So what the actual fate will be of Transformers EarthSpark is still undetermined, but it seems to pretty much indicate that instead of a season 3, we're just going to be getting a brand new series. But still, people who don't know him, you can take this obviously with a grain of salt and wait for something official to come out. But yeah, this, to be honest with you guys, doesn't really come that much of a surprise. I know how you're feeling, guys. It's like Transformers Animated all over again. And there's a lot of contributing factors as to why Transformers EarthSpark is not getting a season 3. And it's not due to the show's quality in terms of story or characters. That anyone who wants to kind of bring up that argument, that's not why. The reason why this show is being cancelled is mostly due to, well, as Protoman puts it, ratings were bad. Toys have had a very soft distribution restocking, and it's not about how much that Wave 1 was ordered, it's about how much gets reordered after by retail. So basically, they put it out in retail, and if they need more, they'll put out more. And basically, they don't want more, because they still have the same stock that Hasbro gave them in the first place. So yeah, it's one of those cases where I feel like the shift is more focused on the Studio Series toys, the toys that people actually want from, the Gamer Edition, the movies, the 86 line, also, the Legacy toy line, the Legacy Evolution, it feels like all the energy has been put into that instead of the EarthSpark toys. There are a few good EarthSpark toys, like I have Twitch right there. I like Twitch. She's one of my favorite characters in the show. But honestly, I have not had this drive, this encouragement to pick up any other Transformers EarthSpark toy, which is a shame because there's a lot of characters in that show I would love to get toys for. But most of the time in EarthSpark, all the toys are just reused molds of the previous line, which is Cyberverse. Like for Shockwave, they just reuse Cyberverse Shockwave, and it's like, what's the point? What is the point of me getting it? It's basically just the same as last time. Grimlock was a fine exception, they used the Cyberverse mold, but they retweaked it to the design of Grimlock in the show. But there's a lot of reuse of molds. There's nothing really enthusiastic about it. The plastic quality. The Takara versions actually of Transformers EarthSpark look 10 times better. It just reminds me of the days of Transformers Animated, the Takara line. It's like this more shiny and glossy, and the toys in the Takara line actually look way more appealing than the Hasbro ones. But that's just a preference issue, But regardless, where is the leader class Megatron? Where is the leader class Optimus Prime? That actually is, a posable toy that, is like the quality of Studio Series. Let's face it, guys, this is a Transformers brand, and the toys is what makes the money. The show is supposed to advertise those toys to make kids go out and buy them, and we've obviously seen a decline of that over the years, especially with certain Transformers shows. It's the priority has shifted more towards the movies than the TV shows, but there's a lot of contributing factors to it. But when it comes to the TV show itself instead of the toys, well, it feels like it was set up for failure to begin with by the way how they distributed the series. In the UK, you can currently watch Transformers EarthSpark on the BBC iPlayer, so you've got that, cool. But when it started out, there was no real way to watch the series other than, of course, Paramount Plus. And a lot of people don't use Paramount Plus. I've used it. I used it for watching Dexter. But then Dexter moved over to Netflix, so I just felt like if I waited a few more weeks, I could have saved my money and just watched Dexter on Netflix. yeah, it's like Paramount Plus has not become the popular streaming service that Paramount have wanted, and there's actually talks at the minute for Sony to merge with Paramount, which, you know, could be a huge change of course, you know, for when it comes to the Transformers movies. If Sony absorbs Paramount, the future of the Transformers movies could be very different. And this shouldn't come as any surprise, but Paramount Plus is not the most popular streaming service. You can't even watch Paramount Plus on your PlayStation. It's that bad. There's no demand for it. Netflix and Disney Plus still continue to dominate in that circle, and making EarthSpark an exclusive to that, I think really, really damaged it, because it opens up to piracy. People like, well, if you can't watch it on Paramount Plus, have it online for free. But then eventually Transformers EarthSpark, at least in the UK, did come to Netflix, so it's like they kind of like made this exclusivity deal, set it all up, like, yes, you can only watch this on Paramount Plus, and then when it was too late, they're like, okay, we'll put it over everything. You know, now you've got it on Netflix UK, now you've got it on BBC iPlayer, you know, now we're gonna broadcast it, you know, so yeah. And I think dropping the episodes in batches didn't really help either, because it's like, alright, they'll drop them, goes away for a while, when's the next batch? We don't know. At least if they uploaded them weekly, you know, we would have that excitement level, like, oh, we got to tune in for the next episode next Friday, you know. And there is a divide on how episodes should be distributed nowadays, because a lot of people, for certain shows, just want the episodes all in one, and it does help the show. It does favor it, you know. Stranger Things, for example, I don't think that show would have been quite the same if we had to wait a week for each episode, because it's a short amount of episodes. EarthSpark went for a whole 20 episode season, you know, so it's like, it's flexible. It could have stretched itself out throughout a year. Like I just mentioned, a show I'm watching at the minute, Smiling Friends, they upload an episode every Sunday, and I would love to be greedy and get all those episodes in one, because I really love the show. But I gotta say, it's making me come back every Sunday, because I want to see the next one, so I am excited and waiting patiently for it, and I feel like the same could have gone for Transformers EarthSpark. You know, so it feels like they didn't really have a plan. It's like they had a plan in motion, and then the plan backfired, and then they just kind of skedaddled and like, okay, now you can have it, and it's like, well, it's kind of too late now, you know, the buzz isn't there, dropped off. Now when there is a new Transformers show, fans will criticize it straight away. Some fans will either like it or they won't, but Transformers have a huge library of multiple different you know, continuities, so it's not like there's not more out there if this isn't for you. But I will say, when it comes to the comparison with Transformers Animated, you know, Transformers Animated's first season had 16 episodes, seasons 2 and 3 had 13, and with, you know, EarthSpark having, you know, the full 26 for the first season, I believe season 2 is 26 episodes as well, so we will be getting 52 episodes of Transformers EarthSpark. So a case could be made for kids' attention spans nowadays as well. It's totally different from how it was when I was a kid. I'm 25, and it feels strange to me that kids can't sit long enough and watch a full episode of anything, because they love that 10 quick minute episode format. It really does depend though on the child, on the country. You know, every country is different, every person is different, how they consume media. I feel like it's become so widely diverse, you know, in this generation, where people can't simply sit and watch a full season anymore than they used to. And who are you really aiming this series for? Because the show, while it does have mature themes, ultimately they're trying to aim this towards kids, because they want kids to go out and buy the toys. Transformers fans, when it comes to the larger demographic of who they're aiming for, it's not that big in comparison. So there's a lot of contributing factors for it, and I think it's a shame, because I felt like season 1 of EarthSpark had its sort of slow beginnings, like every Transformers season kind of does, the first season anyway. But then when it gets to a second season, it's again a little bit more exciting. There's a lot more to offer, there's a lot more to explore, and I feel like season 2 of EarthSpark, from what we saw from the trailer, really has amped it up, and I'm really excited for it. And the only thing I can hope for is the way how season 2 ends is a fitting conclusion. Hopefully they knew about this before it got cancelled, or was it even a cancellation? Was it just like, you're only getting 2 seasons and that's it? who knows, was there a season 3 planned? I just hope that it has a fitting conclusion where fans can be happy and satisfied and not so upset. If same goes like with Transformers Animated, you know, that had a fitting conclusion even though there was so much more to tell. I have a feeling that EarthSpark will still have so much more to tell, but if they have a sweet fitting conclusion, at least to the story arc of season 2, and leave nothing really left to explore, I feel like fans may find that sort of satisfaction, because when it comes to Transformers shows, they never get revived, they never come back from the dead. You know, people, you know, love Transformers Animated, wanted season 4, but the fans have really had to come up with their own season, so yeah, they will never revive or go back to any Transformers show, because when it's done, it's done. I would love for that to be different, I would love for that to change, but it's just not going to happen. Just by the way how Transformers works. The brand, it is an ongoing brand, it constantly keeps moving, there's no stop, there's no halting in it, and it'll be like that forever, unless if I ever become in charge. Then if I ever become in charge of Hasbro Entertainment, guys, you're gonna get every Transformers show coming back. But I'd have to be a billionaire in order to pull that off. I understand that the emphasis of Transformers EarthSpark is to introduce these brand new characters, the Terrans, and I have definitely been enjoying the Terrans, but at the same time, for me, when it comes to my personal experience, I guess just the lack of Autobots and Decepticons interaction, you know, I just felt like they could have blended both, and it felt like sometimes I wanted more episodes of Megatron than we did of other characters, you know, because Megatron in Transformers EarthSpark is really what sold me on the show. I really liked that they approached this Megatron very differently, you know, and it's good to do that, it's good to reinvent, it's also good to, you know, set new things up, different circumstances and all, so yeah, EarthSpark Megatron really was keeping me into the series, and then Starscream appeared and added so much more flavor and variety to the series, and they're the characters I wanted to see most of. So, but I've got nothing against the Maltos, the human characters, the Terrans. I really like them. I own one of them, so I guess I don't know. There's just so much more we want from this series, and it is what it is, I'm afraid. There's a lot of things about it. There was a lot of things put into it. You know, I got a video game, the cartoon, you know, books, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough to save it, which is quite strange, to be fair. We have had transfer shows before, only live up to 2 seasons, but this one, oh wow. I've got to admit, I'm quite surprised by it, to be honest. Obviously, it could be budget reasons as well. Maybe the budget, they put so much into it and didn't get so much back. You know, maybe they haven't been able to make a profit. So, yeah, how I feel about it, it's... I guess I'll be more heartbroken when it comes to Season 2. Because if Season 2 is really, really good, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to really be upset. I'm going to be disappointed in Hasbro for not giving this more of a chance. But at the same time, they are working on a new Transformers series. So it feels like development was sort of started quickly. If that series needs to survive, then maybe Hasbro needs to reevaluate how they approach toy line and marketing and distribution. So maybe with the new Transformers series that's currently in development, Protoman says better luck next time. But yeah, of course, let me know what you think in the comment section below. What's your thoughts on Transformers EarthSpark? Would you have liked to have seen a Season 3, and are you upset about it? I know there's a lot of people upset about it. A lot of people on Twitter, you know, saying the same thing. You know, this is Transformers Animated all over again. And I feel your pain, guys. You know, there's a lot of people who love this series who, you know, for every Transformers series, there's always a new fan base that gets introduced. You know, there's always a new fan base that gets exposed. It's always their first Transformers series. So, yeah, but as said, Protoman's words at the minute, I trust him. Only because I've had a brief interaction with him, so I find him to be a very credible source. He's not the kind of person that would make anything like this up. It's not logical. EarthSpark Season 2 is coming out June 7th, so it's not that long of a wait now. And from what we know, they're only releasing 10 episodes, so maybe we'll have to wait for a while for them to release the next 10, and then 6 if it is 26 for Season 2. As said, not quite sure yet. I can't remember the full season listing. I don't think it's been actually revealed yet. But yeah, notice how quickly it became a Nickelodeon exclusive series, and then it went away, and then it became a Paramount exclusive series, and now it's all over the place kind of series. And there we have it, guys. Like I said in my previous Transfers EarthSpark video, I was only going to cover Transfers EarthSpark, sort of major news, and I guess I just didn't expect to be talking about this big of news so soon. But as mentioned, for more updates on Transfers EarthSpark, be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and click that notification bell to get all updates instantly. I'm Comodin Cam. I'm sorry I had to bring you this unfortunate news. Hopefully the next video we have better news. Until the next time, guys, goodbye.